A series of public presentations for parents and residents of the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District have been held to address pending budget cuts. Last night, a group of parents and teachers met at North Pole Elementary to get details on the superintendent's newest proposal. Stephanie Woodard was there and files this story.
The budget deficit faced by the Fairbanks North Star Borough School District is one of the highest and could affect more than 50 personnel. Parents came out last night to voice their concerns.
We need the money that was promised, plus the extra money that we need to function in our schools, make sure we don't have 40 kids in a classroom.
The projected shortfall is ranging from almost $8 million to a possible $11 million should the district not receive an extra $3 million from supplemental funding. Officials say most of the expenditures come from salaries.
Our teachers, all of our staff, are based on an average for that position. And when we're talking about the average cost, we're talking about total salary and benefit package. Salary actually is about $75,000 is the actual salary cost. By the time you add the benefit component of that, it adds another $40,000, and that does take our average cost for salaries for our teachers to $111,000.
The general concern was the size of classrooms.
So my biggest concerns are cutting 25 teachers, the principals, the nurses. How were they going to make those up? If the cuts do come, how are the kids going to be impacted?
Goborek says she has tried to balance the cuts and wants to keep the ratio of students to teachers at 25 for K through 3, 27 for grades 4 through 6, and the highest ratio at high schools of roughly 30 per class.
If we can maintain some level of a reasonable class size, it comes from other places. It comes from libraries, it comes from nurses, it comes from counselors, it comes from secretaries, it comes from programs downtown. I mean, you just have to start cutting everything. It comes from activities. I mean, there's places that I've already started making cuts. So not across the board cuts, but in places where we have small schools like Anderson and Crawford, can they share a nurse? Can they share a counselor? That kind of thing.
Other schools in the state, including Anchorage, are not faced with such a drastic deficit.
They were able to offset some of their losses that they would have been, and that they certainly are, that they're experiencing from a state level of funding, but they're finding themselves able to offset that.
The school board will meet again in March to vote on the new proposal. I'm Stephanie Woodard reporting.